All right, fourth graders, so let's talk about multiplying and dividing. That's what we've been working on in preparation for our unit assessment this Friday. So what I want you to be thinking about right now is, what do you remember about multiplying a two-digit number by a two-digit number? One of the things that we talked about in class was when we have a two-digit number such as 35 times 27, you can take this number, 27, and expand it. Remember, expanded form was when we take a number such as 35 and it becomes 30 plus 5, and we take 27 and it becomes 20 plus 7. So this is the expanded form of each of those numbers. And in small groups, some of us got to practice, and some of us already knew how to do this, so they didn't have to, doing the area model. So we're going to review the area model today before you work on your test review. So the area model is where we draw that box, and you might recall this. So then we can just do 30 times 20, which is the same as 3 times 2, and we know that 3 times 2 is 6, and we have 2 zeros, so we add our 2 zeros. Then we do 30 times 7, and that's just 3 times 7 with 1 0. So we know that 3 times 7 is 21, and we add our 1 0. Then we do 5 times 20. Notice how I'm lining them up with what's above it. So 5 times 2 is 10, and there's 1 0. And then we do 5 times 7, which is 35. Now that we have all of our quotients, or I'm sorry, our products, proper language, Mrs. Eller, once we have all of our products, we add them all together. So we add 600 plus 700 plus 210 plus 35. So when we do that, 600 plus 100 plus 210 plus 35, make sure you line them up. You add them all together, you should get a product of 945. And that's the same as if you did the standard algorithm, or if you just broke it apart using area model. You get the same answer. That's very important that you always get the same answer. So because you're doing test review today, you're not actually going to be gluing anything in your notebook, but I do encourage you to use your notebook as a good resource for you as you're doing your work. So you are getting, it says quick math assessment, but this is not an assessment. This is classwork to prepare you for the assessment. And we all know you're going to be taking your assessment on Mastery Connect. So your assessment has 2 problems, your practice assessment has 2 problems here at the top, and they ask you to use partial products. And remember to use the anchor chart at the front of the classroom. If you were absent that day and didn't get your notebook caught up, you can always use the anchor chart at the front of the room and the resources on our website. So they're asking you to use the partial products, which is the area model method too. They've got that on there to solve these 2 problems. The 2 problems below it, they're asking you which equation is demonstrated in the breaking apart method. So that expanded form where we're expanding on a number. And then the bottom 4 are word problems. So remember to use your cube strategy. Circle all the numbers. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but you have it taped in the front of your notebook. So use the cube strategy. If you finish 1 through 8 on the front, and I'm going to make sure that your copies are, well, they are marked. The front side says front, and the back side says back. So the back is what you do if you finish early. See how it says back on the back of yours? So this is some division practice. Remember, our 4.nbt.6 objective was division. So this is something we've been over, and these are just some early finisher questions. If you finish the first 8 have to be done first. And remember, if you have any questions, feel free to come back to the table and see me, as long as you're not interrupting a group, and use your notebook as a resource. Do good, I know you will.